You are at Lake Rant, where I rant about whatever my $15 a month plus patrons want me to rant about. You can get one of these by being one of those. This one's from Muse of Salzburg, who says, rant about pain and its portrayal in media. A big problem I have with a lot of fiction, anime specifically, is people's ability to shrug off pain and injury to an unbelievable degree, where characters are still fighting or otherwise functioning after sustaining injuries that they should have passed out, died, or at least slowed down a lot from. I get that this is often done to show resolve. A character is able to continue on because there's something that's so important to them that they can push through the pain. But I find this conceit more compelling when they're overcoming some mental hurdle, most commonly fear or some kind of trauma, instead of something they physically should not be able to do, regardless of their willpower. Do you feel similarly, and what works do you feel offer the most and least realistic portrayals of pain and injury? I definitely agree with you. I think that the reason that it happens has less to do with just the willpower thing and more to do with not wanting to slow a story down. It's like, it's difficult to convey that someone has been like physically injured or is at a disadvantage in a fight, or like just to show that, there's some kind of physical trauma, without them getting injured in like a kind of serious way. But at the same time, if they, if, like, you can't have the fight if they don't power through it. You can't have the rest of the scene. You can't have that final dialogue. And, I wish they just would try to write around it. Like, personally, I would favor the realism of actually, conveying the pain. If the scene can't allow for that, I would prefer to just not put the character into an unrealistic amount of pain. I mean, I think I'm probably bothered the most by just like people getting shot and then being able to have 5 minutes of dialogue, like sitting there spewing out their last words calmly and like, I just wish we could have gone there together. And it's like, you couldn't talk that much. You'd be just fucking screaming in pain. And I think of like Quentin Tarantino's Reservoir Dogs, when when Mr. Orange is shot in the gut and he's just screaming in fucking pain and bloody murder the whole time. Like, most of the movie he's just like mostly concerned about the fact that he's fucking dying and he's just horrified. And that's like way more realistic to me of like, yeah, this is how somebody acts when they get shot, particularly in a painful place. In anime, there's sort of a rule that if you get hit in the shoulder or like the side, like the lower side, or like the leg, or like parts of your arm, or just like grazed on the face, it's an inconsequential injury. If you get stabbed through the chest, you're probably dead. But if you get stabbed right here, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, they literally just, it's like if you see somebody get hit in one of those spots, that all it's meant to communicate is that they weren't powerful enough to be unscathed, but they were powerful enough to, withstand that kind of non-serious, quote-unquote, wound. Even though, again, it would be insanely fucking painful to get stabbed or shot in one of those places, IRL. Realistic portrayals of pain and injury, I think of, like, Techno Lies, where the main character gets his fucking arm and leg cut off, and he just kind of crawls around for an episode and a half in searing pain. Unrealistic examples, there are countless ones, just countless times. Basically anything where somebody doesn't end up in incredible pain after getting hurt. Yeah, it's a writing convenience, and I can look past it most of the time. I think most people can, because we're inundated with this. Like, it happens constantly in all media, across all cultures. It's just like, realistically conveying pain is just, I mean, admittedly, it is too limiting. Like, there's too few stories you can tell that involve violence and action that wouldn't be ground to a halt by this. But, again, would I ever write a story in which somebody can get shot and then just keep going or continue talking? No. I would not do that in a story I was writing. I would prefer not to see it. I will think about it. It will distract me to some extent, but I'm not going to, like, hold it against a show to, like, some great degree, even if I might give extra points to something that did it properly.